This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening. In Sarajevo and throughout the Balkans tonight, there's hope for peace and the threat of a wider war.
One day after NATO laid down a deadline to the Bosnian Serbs, UN peacekeepers moved out to enforce a ceasefire. And the people, numbed by 2 winters of war and suffering, allowed themselves a moment to breathe. CBS News correspondent Barry Peterson is on the scene.
If Sarajevo's nightmare is ending, this may be seen as the moment it happened. When UN soldiers put a Serb sniper alley out of business. The snipers deploying today were the men in blue helmets on rooftops protecting their comrades. Serb gunners watched the unthinkable, UN tanks ending the fighting on a blood-soaked bridge named Brotherhood and Unity.
We've already done a lot of things here.
To show how dramatic a difference it is, standing on this street in this place this morning would have been suicide. The Serb gunners are positioned in that building right back there. For now, it's safe. The question is, how long will it last? The man in charge hopes a long time. General Sir Michael Rose marched boldly into the Serb gun sites, pronouncing ceasefire day 1 a success.
How many months have we been in this city where if you all go quiet now, you hear nothing at all?
Up in the hills where the Serbs rained murderous fire at will, the UN was just as suddenly there. Welcome, said this Serb major. We don't mind having the UN around. Serb artillery may start withdrawing tomorrow, but tough talk continues. This Serb commander says he will hold humanitarian workers hostage if NATO attacks. On Sarajevo streets, some still run, fearful of snipers. Old habits are hard to break. Yasmin Kulanovic was shot hours after the ceasefire took effect. The snipers have old habits too. Still, people want to believe the worst is over.
This is the first time in a war how the children come here, and they are happy like me all. They think that this is the end of war.
It's too soon to know that, but people here do know that now more than ever, war and peace are hanging in the balance. Barry Peterson, CBS News, Sarajevo.
President Clinton says he tried and failed for a second straight day to get Boris Yeltsin on the telephone. Russia has protested the NATO ultimatum to Serbia, but President Clinton said that won't stop the allies from going forward. Senate Republican leader Bob Dole is calling again for an end to the arms embargo against the Bosnian government. Dole says that would help the Muslims, hurt the Serbs and Croats without risking American lives.
CBS News has learned tonight that a key figure in the tailhook sexual misconduct case is resigning from military service. No, not any of the Navy flyers accused of abusing women at the 1991 Tailhook Convention. Instead, it is one of the alleged victims. National Security Correspondent David Martin has this exclusive report.
Lieutenant Paula Coughlin, the woman who blew the whistle on the now infamous tailhook scandal, is quitting the Navy. In her letter of resignation, she says the physical abuse she suffered when she was forced to run a gauntlet of drunken pilots at the Tailhook Convention and the continuing psychological abuse have made it impossible for her to serve. Among other things, she has been dogged by a newsletter called The Gauntlet, published by ex-Navy pilots writing under the pseudonym Paul A. Coffin. Coughlin's resignation adds a bitter irony to the tailhook story, since she blew the whistle in order to drum the male pilots who had abused her out of the service.
Not every man in the Navy behaves like that, but those who did shouldn't remain in the Navy or the Marine Corps. What happened to me was a criminal sexual assault. What happened to me and 26 other women.
Coughlin submitted her letter of resignation on Monday, the day before a judge threw out the last 3 remaining cases against Navy pilots. Although a Pentagon investigation found that 83 women had been assaulted or molested, no one, including the Marine Coughlin identified as her assailant, will be prosecuted.
Despite the lack of convictions, Coughlin